given name was Shams Uddin Muhammad, is the most beloved poet of Persians. He was born in London, Shiraz, a beautiful garden city, where he became a famous spiritual teacher. His Divan collected poems is a classic in the literature of Sufism and mystical verse. The work of Hafiz became known to the West largely through the passion of the book. His enthusiasm deeply affected Waldo Emerson, who then translated Hafiz in the 19th century. Emerson said, Hafiz is a poet for poets, to which Goethe remarked, Hafiz has no peer. Hafiz's poems were also admired by such diverse notables as Nietzsche and Arthur Conan Doyle, whose wonderful character Sherlock Holmes quotes Hafiz. Garcia Lorca praised him. The famous composer Johannes Brahms was so touched by his verse, he put several lines into his compositions. Even Queen Victoria was said to have consulted the works of Hafiz in times of need. The range of Hafiz's verse is indeed stunning. He writes, I'm a hole in a flute through the Christ's breath moves through. Listen to this music. In another poem, Hafiz playfully sings, look at that smile, what earth's lips this morning. She lay again with me last night. Look at the smile on the earth's lips this morning. She lay again with me last night. Hafiz is rightly considered one of the 7 literary wonders of the world, and there has been no other person in history who was consulted as much as a living oracle. The Fal al-Hafiz is an ancient tradition in which a person asks Hafiz via his verse for advice about any important juncture in their life. I feel it is very important to say that in using this deck, please remember, Hafiz is all about safeguarding and empowering you. If you draw a card that you feel is in any way inappropriate, I suggest you follow Hafiz's advice. In a famous poem of his entitled Perfect Equanimity, as it appears in my book, The Gift. The Gift! Poems by Hafiz. That playful, but to me so right on poem of wisdom goes, paraphrased. If I ever put too much food on your plate, or not enough, I was just kidding. In other words, draw another card! I published around 700 Hafiz rendering poems in 6 books, and the impetus behind every single line of Hafiz I've ever wrote is to help light a candle in your heart, to assist our perennial need to have fun, laugh, and dance, to lift the corners of your mouth. The weight that can be on us in an hour or a day, Hafiz is there to lighten. His love for us is time-tested and keeps encouraging and inspiring. He helps us to forgive those we have yet to forgive, and honor those we have yet to honor. His Herculean strength and enlightenment will rub off on you so that you too wish and discover yourself more able, never to harm via sound or movement. He said that Hafiz became incapable of an unkind act. In hundreds of ways, Hafiz addresses what impedes us from living a more fulfilled life. With unique, charming metaphors that he seems to rain from the ground up, he longs to help the highest aspects in us and all the other parts to a place where we can breathe easier and kick back more and say, this world isn't so bad. As a matter of fact, it's amazing. A big hug to all. Daniel Ladinsky. Okay, about the creation of the wisdom of Hafiz Oracle. My husband, Silas, who created the art for this deck, and I have long been compelled by the poets and prophets of old. Their voices sing with a grace and tenderness for the human condition that is often difficult to find in this modern world, with its harsh edges. When a popular calendar company asked Silas to create art inspired by Sufi poets, he jumped at the chance. Though the calendar project came and went, Silas could not stop his passion for blending elements that to him represented the heart of the poet's messages. Freedom, expansion, joy, permission, forgiveness, play, and ultimately wholeness. This deck was created as a fresh spin on the traditional oracle. Using Silas's art as muse, the messages were created solely on the energy of the symbols. These themes were then sent to Mr. Ladinsky, who paired them with inspired poetic renderings based on the study of Hafiz. His renderings are presented in italics in this guidebook. This project seeks to create messages that are timeless and applicable to all humans on the vulnerable journey towards wholeness. What distinguishes us as humans is our capacity to seek out the soul's directives. As a wise sage once said, what unites us is bigger than what divides us. We're all just walking each other home. May this deck be your walking companion. A note on using this deck. As with all oracular encounters, this is an exercise in trust. Trust yourself. Trust your inner guidance. We suggest that, having pulled a card, you allow yourself to respond to the art and symbols first. What does the figure, color palette, and symbols say to you? The theme and message of each card, along with poetic offerings from Mr. Ladinsky, are there as a gentle guiding voice, but no voice trumps your own deep knowing. Okay, then it's just a bunch of these thingies. I was looking for instructions. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a spread with these cards. The first is going to be past, present, future on triangle. Then the next one is going to be structure, systems, values. And lastly, it's going to be love for and from me, love for and from others, and love for and from one. What feels good? What resonates? So I'll do my past, present, future first. So I'm going to do like this, spread it, cut it. Then I'm going to do 1, that's my past, 2, 3, present, Now, my structure, systems, values. For this last spread. Love. For me, from me. Love for others, from others. And love for one, from one. So, the way we're going to do this is, I'm going to read through these. Past, present, future. I'm going to read through them. So this is my past. Have courage. It's upside down. No, it's an upside down elephant. Present. Study to know yourself. Wow. That's why I'm laying like this. Look at this outfit. Okay, that's me in the present. Now, this is my future. Hold the connection. Okay, this is my past. Have courage. It is better to have courage than to have regret. In the long run, one is far more costly than the other. Courage is the open-heartedness it takes to be present in the world, even while afraid. Having the heart to forgive when no one asks, possessing the daring to try something new, even when afraid of ridicule or rejection. Embody the love of curiosity and compassion when everything in your world insists on smallness and predictability. These are the ways of everyday heroine on our journey to an authentic, wholehearted life. Yeah. But an upside down elephant. My past. It's giving me some, reminding me of, I have had courage. I have been on an elephant. That's my past. Open-heartedness it takes to be present in the world, even while afraid. I've been talking a lot about my fears today, and next, study to know yourself. 25. That's the present. Present. That's that lady. So now it's present. Study to know yourself. The moon, asked about her luminosity, said, I know myself. We set goals. We make vision boards. We study the landscape of desire to know its expanse and anticipate its fulfillment. Yet the greatest unexplored territory is the human soul. You are an exquisite temple for the magnificent being who yearns to be known, loved, charted. Explore the vastness of your soul's dimension. Treasure awaits. That's me right now in this little pod. So now we're talking about future. Hold the connection. You are a member of such a royal family. There is nothing you can do to be disowned. And the eternal crown that awaits you. Thousands have bowed to, thousands of times. It takes a great intention and an even greater will to maintain connection with the invisible. Yet your deepest truth and your greatest self is found right there. Now is the time to seek presence with the eternal. Go about your day, make your plans, face your fears, and indulge your joy. All while remembering your roots and your royal heritage. I think what resonates for me there, maintain connection with the invisible. To have an eternal crown. Thousands of times bowed. Make your plans, face your fears, and indulge your joy, all remembering your roots and your royal heritage. Now, we're going to do structure, systems, values for Detroit Story Shaper. Or Z, the Story Shaper. Right now she's in Detroit. So, this is structure. Protect your boundaries. Structure. Makes sense. Set your intentions for systems. Okay. Rest deeply. Values. Okay. So now I'm going to read through Protect Your Boundaries. This is for structure. Turning Detroit Story Shaper into a business. What bird does not protect their wings, knowing the beautiful, vital taste of freedom? Your boundaries are part of life's birthright, but they must be carefully cultivated and consciously guarded. Just as an ungated garden is open to predators, so too is our energy when it lacks a strong container. Be watchful. Be generous with your energy, but equally generous to your own life force. This is resonating because there's a part of me that's like, I want to make sure that things are self-generative. That's because I need a job. I need to have a real job. So making sure that it's self-generative is how I can, that's the structure. Protect your boundaries. So what resonates with me is this idea of equally generous to your own life force. That's the structure. Whatever generates, self-generating, that's the structure. Just as an ungated garden is open to predators, so too is our energy when it lacks a strong container. Okay, so now systems, 30. It's this one. Set your intentions. I've never asked my heart what it most desires since that first day it loved. This is systems. Every dream and every goal starts and ends with a feeling. What do you want to feel when your intentions become reality? Start by indulging that feeling right now. Get into the juicy energy of your why and set your intentions from that foundation. Your path becomes unfettered when you let your intentions guide your action. This feels very clarifying, like very validating. It's always all about intentions. But I think for the system, it's like making sure that I have to be intentional, right? About the way that I'm self-generating. That's how this is going to support this. We can have to put this together. And lastly, rest deeply. Values. Who does not rest best after making love? So all day long I entwine so sweetly with all forms. The maxim goes, to everything there is a season, but in our fast-paced culture we often forget about the fertile season of resting. Winter shows us that all life forms must rest, The fields must lie fallow in order to generate rebirth. Now is the time to let go of the plans and pressures of performance. Gift yourself a season of stillness. Let your thoughts loosen, your mind wander. Let your soul bones curl into a soft wonder. Then lay your head in the lap of awe and drift away into rest's gentle embrace. So what I'm reading here for Detroit Story Shaper, or Z Story Shaper, Z the Story Shaper, she's just in Detroit now, is the value of, and value is time and money, so value being made from, or create a space where I do want to be a space where there's this intention setting, right? A space where, yes, it's rest, but rest not as a reward, right? Rest as regeneration. And the fertile season of resting. Yeah, that's the fertile season of resting. That what Detroit Story Shaper is the space for rest, but it's fertile. It's where your mind can wander. We value that. So like the Story Shaper is gonna wander, right? Their soul bones curl into a soft wonder. Yeah, I want people to experience it separately from action, right? Separate from the experiences of now we're gonna do we did like a triangle. We did past, present, future, courage to learning, to holding our connection. Then we did Detroit Story Shaper. We did the structure, protecting boundaries, with the system of intentions. And then with this idea of valuing rest or the generative nature of what my art is, what Detroit Story Shaper is, it values this. Okay, so now this is love for me, from me. Receive your blessings. So that's for me, from me. This is love for others, from others. Decide for yourself. Decide for yourself. This is love from one, for one. Ask for help. So this little love part is a new one that I've added. It's an addition. So number 6, receive your blessings. So this is love for myself. The desert knows the blessing of rain like we kindness. So the desert knows the blessings of rain like we kindness. One of the hardest things to do is receive, but you're called to do just that. The same hands that open freely to give must also remain open for the receiving from others, from life and from greater. Heal the discomfort that comes from receiving without strings. Be vulnerable and allow the goodness to flow toward you without suspecting costs. You're worth every good and beautiful thing this world can serve up to you. So, I'm not a burden to people, but I always feel I am. That I don't belong. But there's a saying that heal the discomfort that comes from receiving without strings. Be vulnerable and allow the goodness to flow towards you without suspecting costs. Now, good. That's for me. Yes, I can do that. Okay. Don't suspect. Now, love from others. Decide for yourself. Love from others for others. Decide for yourself. I try and let Venus and a sweet rabbit I know each cast 2 votes to my 1 about whatever may seem an important decision. And this strategy seems to be working. My luck has improved. It is wise to seek counsel, to learn the wisdom of your elders and teachers, but no vote outranks the small voice within. Even in its silence, it provides clear and distinct guidance. Seek mature counsel and explore the options, then decide for yourself based on the vote cast by the still small voice that knows and remembers your original magnificent soul and its divine path. I'm going to read, so this is meant to be about love from others for others. I try and let Venus and a sweet rabbit I know each cast 2 votes to my 1 about whatever may seem an important decision. This strategy seems to be working. My luck has improved. What I see here is you can give to someone. No. What this means for me is then decide for yourself based on the vote cast by the still small voice that knows and remembers your original magnificent soul and its divine path. Divine path. I think what this is saying for me, I'm still going back to the rabbit and the Venus on the vote to Hafiz, his original reign. That by giving other people more votes, it's making him feel luckier. So they get 2 votes, I only get 1 vote. But you feel like your luck has changed. Only give when it feels good. I think decide for yourself means that, I will have people who love me and don't love me. You know, decide for yourself. You don't need to flee anymore. You decide for yourself whose love you accept and whose love you accept from, and who you decide to give your love to. You decide. And then love from one, for one. Uh-oh. Okay. Ask for help. Love from one, for one. Inherent in looking up at the sky, or out upon an ocean, or at a small stream, or upon a flower, is in a real way saying, help me be as beautiful as you. We struggle as a culture with vulnerability, believing it makes us weak. But there is a magic in letting people see our humanity, our need, open up the possibility to be met and aided in marvelous new ways. You are not required to do it all. In fact, doing it all strips your essence bare and limits the essential kindness that others desperately need to express. The alchemy of creative synergy being found in this simple recipe. Offer what you can and ask for what you need. Need a pair of scissors. That's how that resonates with me.